What's up guys, Shawnthebro here, and in today's episode of the first-person shooter tutorial series, we are going to be going over improving our pickup system and actually allowing us to pick up ammo for different types of weapons. Because right now in our series, we do have this yellow box that represents our ammo pickup, and we pick it up by walking into it. However, this is hard set to be the assault rifle ammo. So if I go to my assault rifle here, you see I have 24 bullets out of 260 total. If I go and walk into this, I have 280 total. Right now, we don't have a way to actually change that. We just default it to assault rifle ammo, and we've just left it alone. Now, if you want these just placed in the level, of course, you could just change them on the actors that you place in the level, but really we should have blueprints for these so that we can just place them down or dynamically spawn them when we want to, and they will be of the correct type. So we're going to be handling that today, but we're also going to be improving the system greatly. It is a very, very simple system, but we were doing it less than ideal, and it wasn't the best on performance either, so we're going to improve both those things in this very simple episode. If you want to get caught up in the series and check out how we've done everything, from our different animations, our enemies, our different colliders like headshot damage or weak spot damage, then I recommend you check out the entire series, which I'll link right here in the top right corner. That is the first-person shooter playlist. Alternatively, if you don't care about that and you just care about the ammo pickups and just pickups in general, I can link you to the first episode where we implemented these pickups, because if you have that system in place, we are going to be using it and simply modifying it to improve it today. But with that out of the way, we can go ahead and get started. Now this is a code and blueprint tutorial series. We're going to be doing most of the logic in code, but we are going to be referencing the blueprints. So first things first, I want to go to my code. And in our first-person shooter series, we have this base ammo pickup. So I want to open up the base ammo pickup.cpp and base ammo pickup.h. You'll see in here we have our ammo type and our ammo amount. And we're setting these to default values in the constructor. Now this is perfectly good. This is what we want to do. However, we only have one blueprint class of this at the current time, and it doesn't change these values. So we're still just adding assault rifle ammo of 20 every time we run into them. So if we go to where that logic is, that is in our first person, blueprints, pickups, base ammo resupply BP. Now first things first, I actually want to rename this. Simply call it base ammo pickup BP. That's just to stay consistent with our code class. So base ammo pickup BP. And when this loads up, it's very simple. We have a static mesh that is a cube, and we put a material on it, and it has blocking collision currently. Then when we come into the event graph, we have one event. It is event hit, so whenever something hits this object, basically if a blocking collision occurs on this object, we were checking to see if the object that collided with it was our FPS tutorial character. If they were, we were manually calling add ammo and passing in the type and the amount. However, the class defaults of this are still assault rifle and 20, so it was always giving us those values. And then we were destroying the actor afterward. This is very simple, but we can convert this to code to make it even better. So if we go back to our code now and go to our FPS tutorial character.h, we can scroll down to our functions, and I want to make a new function for when we have an overlap with our capsule component on our character. When we do this, we can handle the overlap depending on what the other actor is. So when we do run into an overlap with our base ammo pickup, we can handle that accordingly. So we have a very similar function here for melee attacks called handle melee collision. I put this one right above it. This is going to be the logic that happens when a capsule component collision occurs. And specifically, this is an overlap collision, so we can put that in here. Capsule component overlap collision occurs. We make it a U function. If you don't, you'll get some issues with your bindings, so it's just easier to make it a U function right off the bat. I call this one void handle collider overlap. It takes in all the parameters that collisions in Unreal use. So for overlap collisions, we have a U primitive component pointer called overlap component. This is the component that was overlapped on this character. You can use this if you have multiple components that may be overlapped. This includes children of this component. In this case, it's not really going to affect us because we're going to bind it directly to the capsule component. We want anything under there to trigger this one. But it may come into play later in the series. Other actor is the other actor that we collided with, not this one. That's an A actor pointer. Then we have U primitive component pointer, other component. That's the component on the other actor that we collided with. Then we have other body index, B from sweep, and sweep result. These three aren't really going to come into play today, but they could come into play later. Int32 for other body index, bool for B from sweep, and const f hit result reference, that's the ampersand, sweep result. So these are all the things that come from an overlapping collision. So when we bind a function, such as handle collider overlap, to a collision, we need to take in all those parameters. Now that we've done this, we can go into the FPS tutorial character.cpp and scroll down to the constructor where we set our default values for variables. Previously in the series for the melee collision, we had already done an overlap binding right here. So you can use that for reference if you want. But after I set up all my components and attach them, I'm going to get my capsule component. This is our collision component for our character. The main one, that is the actual collision for every part of our character. It represents where we can stand, where we can walk, things like that. And we're going to use the arrow operator on component begin overlap. So when we start overlapping with something, we are going to bind the handle collider overlap function and call this. We do this by calling add dynamic. We pass in the object that we're going to be calling this on, which is this. Then we have the function we're going to call, which is going to be AFPS tutorial character : handle collider overlap. That's the one we just made. You have to put ampersand in front of it. Now, once we bound our onComponentBegin overlap, we need to fill out our handle collider overlap function. So I'm going to scroll down until I get to where I want to add this function. And again, I have my handle melee collision here from previous episodes in the series, so I decided to put this function above it, but wherever you want to add your function is perfectly fine. So void AFPS tutorial character : handle collider overlap. Then we need all the parameters that we had before, so that is our overlaps component, other actor, other component, other body index, B from sweep, and sweep result. At this point, we just want to transfer all the logic in here. So everything we did so far is setting up this event hit. So now we just have to fill out the rest of the logic. So the first thing we do is grab the other actor off of event hit and cast to our character type. Is a character what collided with us? The thing about that, though, is that was being done in our base ammo pickup BP. So we're not going to be casting looking for the character now. We're in the character. We're going to be casting looking for our ammo pickup. First thing we can do is cast our other actor, so we can make a base ammo pickup pointer, and we'll call it overlap ammo pickup. And we'll set it equal to cast a base ammo pickup. And for the cast itself, we're casting against other actor. So basically, cast other actor to this type and set it equal to this variable. We can wrap this in an if statement by doing this. And so if it's null pointer, if other actor doesn't exist, or if the cast cannot succeed, it won't enter this if statement. If it is cast and it can be set to this value, then this pointer won't be null pointer, which means we have a valid object, which means we can go into the if statement. To be able to access this type, we need to include the file. So if we go up to the top, we can go to our includes and hashtag include base ammo pickup .h. So here we are. Now let's go back in here. So we have these parts done. If this cast succeeds, we want to call add ammo on the character using the ammo type and the ammo amount from the pickup. So to do this, we can simply call add ammo, and the values that we're passing in for the type come from the ammo pickup. So overlapped ammo pickup, and we need our ammo type, but we're not able to get our ammo type because this parameter is not public. So if we go to base ammo pickup.h, you see these are in protected. That's perfectly fine. We can go to our public section here and add accessors and getters. So e ammo type get ammo type We have a few ways to do this, but let's just inline this. We'll put it right in here. So get ammo type, and we're going to return ammo type. Inlining a function just means we're doing all the logic for it right here. So this just works like a regular function. These are good for one-liners like accessors and mutators, or getters and setters. And we can do the same thing for our ammo amount. So we're going to return int for ammo amount, get ammo amount. And we're going to return ammo amount. Variables stay protected, but now we have these public functions we can call. I'll just go up here and type getters/accessors. Now we come back to our character, and we can go to add ammo. And now use our arrow off of this and type get ammo type. And for the second parameter on add ammo, that is our ammo amount. So we're going to use overlap ammo pickup get ammo amount. And now we're calling add ammo. Afterward, we just have to call destroy actor to get rid of the base ammo pickup, because at this point we've used it and consumed it. So go down to the next line, destroy, and specifically we want to destroy overlapped ammo pickup. I'll add some comments in here. So if the actor, the capsule component collided with is of type base ammo, a base ammo pickup, or a child of a base ammo pickup. So that's all this is doing here. At this point, we're good to go with our overlap. So actually, we can get rid of everything in base ammo pickup BP. You don't need it anymore. It's being handled in the code. To clean this up further, we don't need a default scene route here. It is what it sounds like. It is quite literally a placeholder. Now, you can keep it and you can use it. But something simple like this is perfectly fine to have our static mesh as the default. We don't really need this extra layer of complexity. So if you drag a component over the default scene route, it will just set that component as the root. I want to do this to make things a little bit easier. Now lastly, we can go down in our details panel for our base ammo pickup BP, and we can change the collision presets from block all dynamic to overlap all, or custom and set it overlap to your character type like pawn. It is up to you, but I don't see any reason this needs blocking collision right now, so overlap all is fine. And now at this point we would have to relaunch, but when we do that we should be able to go overlap with this ammo and collect it just like we were doing before, but a lot more efficiently. When you relaunch and you're ready to test, what we need to do is go back to our base ammo pickup blueprint, make children blueprints for each of our weapon types. So we have our assault rifle, our pistol, our shotgun, and our submachine gun. I'm going to set the ammo type on each blueprint, and then I'm going to set the ammo count or ammo amount on each blueprint as well. These are just arbitrary values that I feel are right. You can put whatever you want for them. Set this up for each blueprint. Apply a different material for each mesh if you want to clearly distinguish them in the world. Then go into your level, manually drag them in for now. We're just going to place them statically in the level so we can test it. And once we do this, we can make sure everything works as it should. And if it does, we're good to go. Anyway guys, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe. It does more for myself and the channel than anything else you can do, and I really appreciate it. I want to give a huge shout out to my YouTube membership, Patreon, and Discord subscribers. You guys are fantastic, so thank you so much for the love. I'm so happy you're enjoying this series like I am. It is a blast to work on. If you ran into any problems while following this tutorial or any of my tutorials, feel free to join the Discord community. There is a link in the description, and I would be happy to help you. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Shawnthebro, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye, guys.